So love has nothing whatsoever to do with jealousy. Love has nothing whatsoever to do with hate. Where there is hate, pleasure, anxiety and so on, love cannot exist. Yes, sir. And the speaker questions whether he love anybody at all. And what is love? How does it come about? You understand? Don't you ask that question? Do you really ask that question, or is just I'm asking it for you?
The question is with us.
Huh?
The question is with us.
What question?
That whether we love.
Yes. Whether you love. Can love exist where there is sorrow? Careful, sir, don't answer me. Most of us are in sorrow of some kind or another. Failing an exam? God, think what we are. Failing an exam, failing not to be successful in business or in politics or in your relationship with your wife or a relationship with somebody upstairs. You understand? Upstairs. Which may be your guru or some other imaginative figure. So, when you can't succeed, when there is no success in you, you are depressed, you are sorrowful. Or you are sorrowful because you live in a small little village, you don't know how to read and write. Thank God. And you don't know how to drive a car. Or you have no bath, hot bath. You wear one dirty cloth. We've been through all that. The speaker has been through all that. You're all fairly well to do and so on. So he suffers. And so the man in position, high up in the ladder, nobody pulls down the ladder, but he's high up. So he suffers too, because there are a few more steps to go up. Right? So, everyone on this earth, everyone, from the poorest to the richest, from the most powerful man to the least powerful, they all suffer. Right? Right, sirs? They all suffer. Every woman on earth suffers. The men have pleasure. Women suffer. So, suffering is not yours. Because everybody around you suffers. It's not my suffering, it's suffering. I wonder if you understand that. My son dies, and I get terribly upset. I weep and I say, oh God, I've lost my son, and that becomes a perpetual problem. I weep every time I see a little boy or a little girl. And I go through the pain of loneliness, sorrow, all the rest of it. Do we ever consider sorrow is not mine? It's everybody's. Which doesn't minimize sorrow. is there. Right? Do you understand? And can that sorrow end? As long as I'm suffering, because I've lost my wife, or I am not as great as I thought I was, or I've got pain in my joints, or something or other, I'm always suffering about it. I'm asking, can that sorrow end? If there is sorrow, you can't, there is no love. Please realize, if I suffer, it's part of self-pity, sort of my concern. It's only I am suffering, nobody else. My sorrow is different from your sorrow, like my God is different from your God. My Guru is stronger than your Guru. It's a joke becomes. So, is there an end to sorrow? Or mankind must go through this horror all his life? Yes, sir. The speaker says it can end. Otherwise there is no love. If I'm all shedding tears all the time because I've lost my son, and he's the only son I have, and to me the son represents me, my continuity, my property, however small it is. I'd hope he'll become Prime Minister, better house, better, more learned, get more money. You know, we all think the same way. Don't play around this. So I suffer. And you come along and tell me every human being on earth suffers. It's not your suffering, oh boy. We all share it. I refuse to accept such a statement because of my sorrow. I love my sorrow. I am happy in my sorrow. And I want to be separate from my sorrow, in my sorrow. So it requires a great deal of inquiry, persuasion, talking about it. Say, look, it isn't quite yours. Have a little bit of it, but it isn't quite yours. That means no self-pity, and that means you are really sharing the burden of sorrow for all the rest of mankind. Go on, sir, you don't know anything about it. Think about it. Look at it. You are part of humanity. You are not separate from humanity. You may have a better position, better degrees, better money, professor. You are not. You are part of mankind. Your consciousness is part of mankind. That is, your consciousness contains all the things that you have thought about, imagined, feared, and so on. Your consciousness is that. And that is the consciousness of mankind. Mankind has fear, sorrow, pain, anxiety, shedding tears, uncertain, confused, every human being on earth. And you are like the rest. So you are not, listen carefully, you are not individuals. I know my body is different from your body. You're a woman, I'm a man, and so on. But we are in the world as one unit. Now you don't know what that relationship, when you feel you are the rest of mankind, then something totally different takes place. Not just words, imagination, but the feeling of it, the enormity of it.